a very special guest today, a renowned principal, coach, and curriculum director from all over the world, Alison Davis. She's been in the education world for over 40 years, which is hard to believe because she looks barely 40. Welcome, Alison.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here in Taiwan and meeting with the teachers and talking about Common Core. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to be asking you about some questions today regarding Common Core. And if I may start with the first question, is what is Common Core standards and why are they important?
Great question. The Common Core standards are a set of shared goals and standards against which students' performance is measured. And it was brought in to describe what students could know and what they could do as a result of their knowledge. So it's very clearly articulating a set of standards that are a consistent staircase of knowledge, skills and behaviours from kindergarten right through to grade 12 that describes what students should be able to do with their knowledge. It's a way of making sure that students have breadth in their curriculum and being able to use what they know. So rather than learning facts, it's about learning and applying knowledge in new situations.
Being able to use it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so again, that's very different to the old ways of learning a bunch of facts and being tested. This is about knowing, showing, and doing by using the knowledge that you have.
Knowing, showing, and doing. Very good.
Yeah, fantastic. So the intention of the Common Core standards is students to be able to compete in a global economy. So in the past it was enough for countries to educate their children to be competent in their own, but this is about getting them to work internationally, which leads us very nicely to our second question.
Okay, good. The Common Core, having been more kind of nationalized and within each country in the past, now is more international. So that leads me to the next question of why English learners here in Taiwan need to know this Common Core if it's just nationalized before.
Great question. Is kids here in Taiwan need to be competitive on an international market. Who knows where our kids today, based here in Taiwan, will be in the future. They could be anywhere in the world, and we want them to have an education that teaches them to think hard, to solve problems, to use their knowledge in many different ways, to be able to read widely, to read using evidence, to think deeply, that their ideas are really clear and robust, and that helps them then to be competitive in whichever market that they're living and working. And when they're college and career ready, that means that they're going to be college and career ready anywhere in the world in which they choose to live. So that internationalism is really important, is instead of educating children just to be successful nationally, they need to be successful internationally. And the Common Core State Standards were from the US, from the States, but again are recognised throughout the world as having the knowledge and skills that students need to be successful for the rest of their lives.
And that's also, I could imagine, very beneficial to the country where those citizens are from, because you don't have the brain drain, right? They're bringing it back to the country and uplifting the country.
Which is fantastic.
Yes.
And really important for a global economy.
Especially for Taiwan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Now that we know what Common Core is, it does sound very, very intimidating for the people that don't actually know what's in it. So my next question to you, Alison, is are Common Core standards difficult?
Great question. Are they difficult? No, they're not. They're rigorous.
Rigorous.
Rather than difficult.
Okay.
And what the rigor means is that you're getting kids to think hard.
Right.
And you're getting kids to use evidence and being able to back it up logically and dispassionately from the text they read, from the information they gather in their mathematics, is that they're actually able to use evidence and present a point of view clearly and explicitly. And that's very different from the old style of education, which was learn the facts, answer the questions on a quiz. So we're asking kids to fully understand what they read, what they engage with, and getting students to have really deep understanding. So what we're really looking at is a staircase of kids developing a set of knowledge and skills across the curriculum, rather than in the past it was a step stool. here's something that you're going to learn in grade 3 and you're going to learn it, and then in grade 4 you're going to learn another step stool. The staircase is about the knowledge and skills that students develop over time. And yes, we're asking for it to be challenging, and we're asking for it to be rigorous so that students are thinking hard and thinking deeply, rather than kids learning a bunch of facts and being tested on them. So it's a shift in what we're expecting students to do, and yes, it's challenging, but it's not difficult.
So the Common Core is very vigorous for the students. Now, how does the Common Core impact teachers? And is the Common Core standards, does it tell them how to teach? Or does it tell them what to teach?
Fantastic. So Common Core standards provides the knowledge and skills that students would need in order to be successful in college, career and life. So the document, the standards, describe that behaviour across that staircase. But it doesn't tell teachers how to teach, which to me is fantastic.
Yes.
Because if someone tells me how to teach something, I'll teach it the opposite way. So we have a set of guidelines of what students need to learn. There are some suggestions of things that will support that. What are the challenges in that learning? But it will not tell teachers how to teach.
That's great. So there's still a lot of flexibility, and teachers have their own styles and they're able to continue.
And we want teachers to be creative in how they engage students, because that's one of the skills that we want our kids to be creative. We want our kids to be collaborative in how they work. So confining students to a set of facts that need to be learned is something that belongs in the past. This is about encouraging teachers to get their students to work collaboratively, for getting students talking to each other, getting them being able to explain and describe what they're learning and how to use it in a way that's authentic. So we want our kids to build on what others know it can do, and that again builds that sense of rigour, that sense of commitment, and that sense of communication that's so powerful, not just for school, but for the rest of our lives.
So actually, from our discussion earlier, you had mentioned that the Common Core is only in English and math. So why is that? Why is it only in English and math and not in other subjects such as social studies, science, and arts?
So if you think about that, is to be successful in life, you need to be able to read, write, speak, and listen. And you need to be able to problem solve everyday mathematical transactions.
Right.
That's what you need to be successful in life. So Common Core focuses very specifically on the knowledge, skills and behaviours in English language arts and math in order for students to have successful college, career and life preparation. So if you think about what that means, we need our kids to be critical thinkers. They need to be problem solvers. They need to be able to communicate effectively and powerfully, and using the power of words and numbers in order to do that. So communication around those areas is really critical. Let's think about the conventions of language, what it takes to have a powerful message. What will that look like? Reading and making sure that we know how to read like a detective of what the author said and what the author meant. And then being able to communicate and collaborate effectively in whatever interactions that we have in our lives is critically important. So the Common Core puts the responsibility on every teacher in every classroom to focus on English language arts and mathematics and those foundational skills that kids need in order to be successful throughout their years of schooling, in order for them to have those foundational skills that will be applied in the art classroom, in the science classroom, in the math classroom, is that critical thinking and problem solving and effective communication means that I can write it, I can read it, I can discuss it, I can explain it, but I need those foundational skills in place.
Common Core was developed in the United States. How does it compare to the leading international educational systems around the world?
Well, I think it compares very favourably, and in fact, the research from all of those successful countries like Finland, Australia, UK, Singapore, is the knowledge that was gained from the research was about what was the world's best practice, what were the international benchmarks in those leading countries that shaped the newest ideas in educational thinking. We think about the 21st century skills, both for college and career readiness, and impacting on what employers wanted, but also what did universities, what were they looking for. So it's drawn on the very best research we have universally. So it's not just something very small, it's actually drawn on international best practice and built a curriculum based on the knowledge, skills and behaviours across the board that will help students to be successful in their college career, but more importantly that kids are successful in life so that they can compete anywhere in the world on an equal playing field.
So Alison, you've taught us so much about Common Core. Is there anything else you'd like to add regarding Common Core?
I think Common Core is actually about asking kids to think deeply, to read, talk and think like a detective, to be able to write like a journalist, to be able to think critically about what's presented to them, to communicate effectively, to work collaboratively and to use their knowledge in creative ways. And I think if we as teachers can help our students to do that, we've certainly equipped them to be ready for college, to be ready for career and to be ready for life. And that's really powerful role for us as teachers.
Yes. So, talking about teachers, is there a special message you would like to say to our teachers of Taiwan?
I'd love to. As teachers, you have a huge responsibility, but a huge joy and a huge honour to make a difference in the lives of our young people. I want you to teach with power and passion. Teach your kids to think hard, to think deeply, to read like a detective, and to be able to use your knowledge in new ways in order to make the world a better place. And I know that you'll be able to do that. I wish you every success in the work that you do in the lives of young people. And I know that you will make Taiwan a better place because of the great work you do every day in teaching with power and passion. Good luck, and I'll see you again.